Hey everybody, today I'm going to be showing you how to install our heavy duty tie rods on a Honda Talon 1000. So the first thing that we're going to do is go ahead and remove the wheels and tires from the machine. Then we're going to go ahead and disconnect our tie rod from our knuckle by removing the 14mm nut. Then once you remove your nut, if your tie rod doesn't come right out of the knuckle, what you can do, take one hammer like this and then take another one and then just smack it like that. And what that's going to do, it's going to free this stud up out of the knuckle here on the steering arm. So we've got our tie rod disconnected. Then we're going to go up here to where our tie rod connects to the rack and pinion. And there's going to be a zip tie on the boot. So what we're going to do, we're just going to take a pair of side cuts and we're going to go up here and we're going to cut the zip tie off the boot. We're going to go ahead and pull our boot back so it exposes our inner ball and socket. You may have to come up here and remove this clamp as well. Usually you can just grab it and kind of pinch it with your fingers and it'll come loose. Then we'll slide our boot down enough to where we can get in here and get a hold of the inner ball and socket. I'm going to grab a pair of channel locks. We're going to come in through the top or through the bottom, whichever way you can get a better bite. You just want to grip it as tight as you can, and these are going to be pretty tight. Just want to grab it. Then a lot of times once you get it busted loose, you can go ahead and just grab a hold of the tie rod and just spin it, and it's going to loosen that inner ball and socket as well. If it doesn't, you'll just have to keep using your channel locks to remove it out of the inner shaft of the rack and pinion. We'll just keep unthreading it here until it comes off. And we'll go ahead and we'll set our factory tie rod to the side. So once we have our factory tie rod removed, we're going to go ahead and get in our hardware kit and remove our inner ball and socket. We're going to go ahead and take a little bit of blue Loctite and put it on the threads of the inner ball and socket here. Then we're going to go up here to our inner rack shaft, and we're just going to go ahead and thread the inner ball and socket in. You want to get it in there as far as you can, as tight as you can, by hand. And we're just going to go ahead and get it all tightened up. Just want to get it as tight as you can. We're just going to go through and double check. All right, so we got it good and tight. Then we're going to go ahead and grab the provided boot in the kit. We're working on the passenger side, so we're going to go ahead and grab the passenger side boot, and we'll just slide it right up and over the stud and slide it onto the rack and pinion. Make sure you get it all the way up on there. And take the provided zip tie. Then we're going to take our jam nut and we're going to thread it onto threads here for our inner ball and socket. Thread it all the way up. And we can go ahead and take our other zip tie and put it right here on this outer portion of the boot. Just like that. And we're going to grab our tie rod, and this side out here that's textured is going to go towards the outside. This side will go to the inside. We'll just thread it right on to the threads of the inner ball and socket. Then walk inside and make sure your steering wheel is straight. Looks like we got our steering wheel good and straight there. This is just going to help whenever we go to do our alignment. So then what we're going to do is we're going to attach our tie rod in. You want to take your jam nut, thread it all the way down onto the end of the tie rod, just like this. And this is left-hand thread. So you just want to thread this in. And the idea is to have the same amount of threads on either side. So on the inner ball and socket side as well as the tie rod inside. So now we're going to go ahead and grab our stud. There's going to be two different sides to it. There's going to be the long tapered side That's going to drop down through the steering arm. Then you'll take your washer that's provided in the kit, slide it on, and then slide your nylock nut onto the bottom here as well. And once you have it in position, make sure your rotor is straight here, as straight as you can get it. We're going to be doing an alignment on this machine, so it doesn't have to be perfect just yet. So we're going to take our misalignment bushing and drop that right down in there. And we'll take our top nylock nut, go ahead and get it started. And you can do this one of two ways. You can grab two 19 sockets or a 19 wrench in a socket and then tighten them up evenly. Today I'm going to grab a 19 wrench, 19 socket, and then we're just going to tighten it all up. So that one's tight. We'll come down here to the bottom. Just want to make sure that you get it good and tight. Then I like to come back and double check it with a ratchet. That one was pretty tight. All right, so now that we have them nice and tight, I'm gonna go ahead and grab our cotter pins, slide them through. I like to just bend them around. Do the same thing down here on the bottom. We'll go ahead and we'll straighten our wheel out. So at this point, we should have our tie rod all installed. Everything should be tight. Then what we're gonna do is repeat all these same steps for the opposite side, reinstall our wheels and tires, set the machine on the ground, and get ready to set our alignment. So now we have our machine sat back down on the ground. We have Corey here helping us today. What we're gonna do is we're gonna roll the machine out to settle the suspension, and then we're gonna take some measurements to set our toe. So once we got our suspension settled, we're gonna go inside our machine, make sure our steering wheel is straight. Looks like we got her straight there. And then we're gonna take a measurement from the center line of this tire on the front side to the center line of that tire on the front side. It looks like we're right at 61 here in the front. Then we're gonna do the same thing on the back side of the tire. And it looks like we're right at 59. So we have 2 inches of variation between the front of the tire to the rear of the tire. So all we're gonna do is, since we're running SuperATV's double adjustable heavy duty tie rods, we're gonna loosen both our jam nuts and adjust it so that way we have an equal measurement on the front side of the tire to the rear side of the tire. And we're gonna go over here to the opposite side. So now we have our toe set. What we're gonna do is we're gonna go through, tighten down our jam nuts, go through, double check all our hardware, and that's how super easy it is to install SuperATV's heavy duty tie rods on the all new Honda Talon. For more information on these tie rods or any of SuperATV's great products, feel free to give us a call at 855-743-3427 or check us out online at superatv.com. Thanks for watching, and we'll catch you next time.